Welcome to the Friday edition of Outnumbered on your favorite television station, Oweleke TV. My name is Ramsey Enoch, and of course, Antonia Nwokolo is right here looking Friday today.
Good morning, Ramsey.
Good morning, Antonia. And also Christopher Sunday.
Good morning.
With the Igwe's cab.
It's a chamber 1, Guru 2.
Oh my God.
Of Abuja Igbo community.
Wow.
All right. Well, it's good to have you right there too. Let's get straight to the headlines that we have for the day. The first paper here this morning is the Punch newspaper. Above the header, I have this one to my right on page 21, which says Tinubu suspends REA boss directors over alleged 1.2 billion naira fraud. Then another one here, another headline. Reps demand 2024 budget review over forex crisis. Now to the big story that you can actually get still on page 21. Let's quickly get to the big story for the day, which is on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. And the big story says, outrage as bandits kidnap 280 pupils from Kaduna schools. Two riders to that story. Teacher says gunmen invaded primary, secondary schools after morning assembly. That's bad. Kidnapped over 280 pupils, workers. That's in Kaduna State. Then the second rider says a governor visits schools, promises pupils rescue. JNI, PTA, Amnesty International condemn attack. Governor visits school, promises pupils rescue. That's good. Then JNI, PTA, Amnesty International condemn the attack, just like we also condemn that
It
attack.
is not enough to condemn this attack.
Action.
Sorry, it is not enough to condemn. Just 3 days ago in Borno State, IDP camp was invaded and some 117 people were kidnapped.
From
now,
ID,
yes,
displaced people.
Yes, displaced people.
Kidnapped
Now from Kaduna,
How you can
From
imagine the
IDP
trauma.
camp.
the
You can
trauma in
imagine
the lives of people.
Why
So
adding to
within
the-
just within
Oh
a
my
week,
God.
almost 260 persons were kidnapped in a country, a sovereign state like Nigeria.
That's pathetic. And this
I
shouldn't be so in the first place.
I think the security agencies must they must have something to explain. The president should maybe sack 1 or 2 persons so that others will sit up. The country cannot continue to experience this kind of setback within.
Of course, the
your
president
political-
appointed new chiefs when he came into office.
And retired a lot of
people because these persons need
he appointed
to get
them
this
from like a
appointment.
lower course,
And
and then
people
those
ahead.
above were forced to retire.
That is again on its own wrong. Who knows whether the people, the first people retired, but it didn't start from the present president. Each time they want to bring somebody that will maybe will be answerable to them, or somebody that will listen or do their bidding, they drop those who are already
It's
up
part
there.
of the rule.
But it's unprofessional.
It's part of
It's-
the rule.
Well, where's the rule? Is it in the constitution?
The military, they have
Okay,
their
that's the
rule.
junior. That your junior,
Your senior
cannot
be answerable to you.
So you as
No,
a
why not
senior,
make the
yeah.
senior
As a
the head of military?
Maybe because of capability, maybe because of what they need to bring to the table, or for whatever reason. All right, then, more headlines still coming from there, still in Kaduna State. Kaduna plane crash. Pilots escape death.
Kaduna again.
Kaduna plane crash. Pilots escape death. Air Chief orders probe. Well, I don't know why all of this is happening. And finally, from the Punch newspaper this morning, minimum wage. Workers differ. Governors want revenue sharing review. Always about money. Revenue sharing. Well, let's see what the sharing formula will be and who is going to benefit from it if it actually scales.
Is it
through.
between the federal government and the state, or between the state and the local government, or between the local government, state, and the federal government? See, let me tell you, ask your governor, call your governor and ask him who is collecting or receiving the monthly allocation of all the local government in the state. In Kogi State, for instance, we have 21 local government in Kogi State. The governor is the one collecting them, and then he decides what to give to the local government chairman. So they have useless local government in all.
So local
the 700 and
they don't
more
have
like
voice
ceremonial
anymore.
heads.
yeah 774 local government. All of them are almost useless.
And this is not what
And they are
is
talking about
supposed to be.
revenue review.
This is
Revenue
not
review.
how it is supposed to be. This is not it at all. Because the local government council should also have their voice. They should also
They
have
are
their own
the
allocation.
grassroots.
Because they are the grassroots. They are even the ones closer to the people more. So why all this treatment? Well, this is going to be the size of the headlines from the Punch newspaper. If you care about any of these headlines, you can visit your vendor and pick any, the copy of the Punch, of course, then go through any of the stories that catches your fancy. Over to you for the next story.
All right, on the Guardian newspaper, the first headline we'll be taking is actually the big story. And it says, widowed by insurgency, gallantry. Millions of widows in dire straits over lack of structure and empathy. And underneath, you can see a description that says Nigeria is home to about 15 million of the world's 258 million widows. Data shows an increasing number of younger widows between the ages of 23 and 40. So this is basically just shedding light since today is March 8th, International Women's Day. And the theme for this year's celebration is Invest in Women, Accelerate Progress. If we invest in women,
invest in Antonia.
So invest in me.
Invest in Antonia, please.
Invest in me and accelerate progress. But now, particularly, this is talking about widows. People that their husbands, their spouses, their loved ones are in security agencies, and then because they're trying to defend the country, prevent these insurgencies, and they lose their spouses, they lose their loved ones, and there is no clear structure as to how they can get the benefits that are accrued to you being a loved one of a security personnel. Getting some of these people, their husbands or their loved ones are the breadwinners of the family, and once they die, the family is left. The wife is either forcefully evacuated from the barracks or wherever the police housing system, wherever they are staying, and it's just a lot, and it's telling a lot on the widow. So,
Antonia, let me even come in here. Let's say that the government is not ready to even take care of
The widows.
the widows.
yeah.
Why not at the burial of this security? Their husband. Why not pay them off their benefits?
Now, this
You need to
pension,
tell people struggle to get their
Whatever. You know
benefits.
how
For
many years? I know
For
of a-
years.
I know
They
of
don't
a-
get it.
I have a friend whose husband, the husband died while on duty, civil defense. It took her like 12 years before she was able to
To
get.
get
So what
something
was she
out.
feeding on?
Well,
What about
if she had a
How was she
business?
surviving?
But again,
That's
I
because
told
she
her when
had
she
something.
told
What
me.
about other people that were completely dependent
Yeah, when
on
she
their
told me that they
husbands?
finally paid the husband money, I asked her first question: what did you use the money to do?
What did she say?
She said, that she used it to finish building the house that the husband started building before he died. So imagine that you pay them promptly. She was working and she was also paying the children's school fees, 3 kids, and then she was paying rent. That money would have helped her to at least save and to also plan for the future of the children.
That's true.
Yeah.
So now the governors are talking about they should review what now? Payment structure or whatever. Now, are they thinking outside their own arena to know that
Most
people
times,
out
if you
there?
hear things like this, it's either something is fishy somewhere. It's either they are trying to maybe accumulate wealth for themselves. Because in Nigeria these days, if you see anyone pushing for anything finance now, it means
they have a stake.
they have a stake in it, or else they won't even push for it.
These are women that have because their husbands have the passion to defend the country. Their families are put at a disadvantage.
America.
Pause their lives.
America, once something like that happens,
no,
you are
and you know another thing is that some of these women don't even know the actual steps to take. So let's say their spouse dies unexpectedly, and then you're following through the process. They have associations that they join. Do you understand that? Naowa, police officers' wife. There's even a widows association and all of that. But sometimes they don't follow these things through. So maybe the documents to claim these benefits might be ready, but they are not following it up because they don't have the know-how to say, oh, where do I go from here? How do I navigate?
They don't even know the process.
And some of these families,
let me tell you something.
Christopher, hold on to your thought. Some of these families, they now rely solely on, maybe the husband made a good name for himself and he has friends that are his classmates, and they'll be like, oh, for the sake of that, my friend, they might decide to place the wife on a monthly salary, just make her a beneficiary to the account. So for the sake of my friend, use this one to take care of the children, maybe 50K on a monthly, 20K on
And for how long can they even sustain such?
Yeah, so that's how these women
In this
are
country, those days in the 80s, this is a serious matter. In the 80s, immediately.
Let's move to the next headline,
In the 80s,
please.
I tell you, so people will come and knock and say, "Are you the son or the wife of so person?" They say, "Yes." "Oh, he died about 5 years
Yeah, and he gave
ago."
me
Look at
this,
his
yeah.
benefit. We have been looking for you for a long time.
That's how it was. But
Now you have to come
it is
to
not
even
like
pay
that.
bribe.
The
You have
person
to
will
pay
even
bribe.
see, if the person knows that you are not even aware of your father's benefit,
Yes.
they carry it. They go away with it. They don't look for people anymore.
Move to the
Let's
next.
move to
move
the next
the
headline.
next headline.
I don't know why.
Yes.
Are you
That's
done?
Ramsey.
No, I'm not done.
Ramsey
Okay.
is distracted us.
You guys just want us to take only one headline from the Guardian newspaper. Guardian newspaper has a lot for us this morning.
Just
Yes.
do
So
it.
Labour divided on minimum wage as NLC slashes demand to 794,000 naira. TUC opts for 447,000 naira. So this friction, this division,
They've
it's more
started.
like they are not united
Please,
on
take
their
the next
stance.
headline.
headline.
Forget
People
about
are
them.
The
confused.
details
They are
of that,
confused. Leave them
story is on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. Now, Nigerian women tax government on inclusion, gender balance beyond yearly promises. The details of that story is on page 42 of the Guardian newspaper, and then the final headline will be taken from the Guardian newspaper. Court admits evidence in $6.2 million alleged fraud suit against Emefiele. Now, the details of that story is on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper.
All right, and on the Daily Times newspaper this morning, Tinubu suspends REAMD. Others can find that story on page 5 of the Daily Times newspaper. Bandits kidnap 232 pupils, teachers in Kaduna school. Federal government moves to tap from 2.5 billion carbon market. CAS orders probe of NAF trainer aircraft mishap. That story is on the page 9 of the Daily Times newspaper. CBN to sanction MFBs, PMBs, DFIs for failing to file returns. And that will be the size of the story from the Daily Times newspaper. Over to you, Ramsey.
Thank you, Christopher, for that headline. Well, this is going to be the size of the newspaper review for this morning. Let's go on a quick break. After the break, we'll return with the big story.
Follow us on our social media handles at Oweleke TV. Visit our website at www.oweleketv for a thrilling journey. Oweleke TV, rising star at the fairground.
Welcome back from that break. It is still outnumbered live on your screen. Now, it is time for the big story. We want to look at the big story from the Guardian newspaper. And what is the big story all about? It's all about the women. Of course, they are celebrating their day. And Nigerian women task government on inclusion, gender balance beyond yearly promises. We are tired of the promises. You keep promising and we're not seeing anything. What a man can do, a woman can do better. And now the women are saying we want to be included in governance and every other thing in Nigeria. Well, I think my colleagues will add their voice to this conversation because as it is right now, we have a woman here and I'll be starting from her. So Antonia, women saying they need inclusion, all right? Then the yearly promises, they don't want it anymore, okay? Gender balance is what they really want at this point in time. Are you of the same opinion or you are of a different view?
I'm of the same opinion because a lot of time women have been stereotyped. African women, Nigerian women, women all over the world. We've been sidelined and neglected, not included in politics, not included in certain professions that they say it's a man's profession. But now we have women who are breaking these ceilings. We have like Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, who is the World Trade Organization president. We have women who are doing so much in their different fields. Yes, Chimamanda Adichie, a very prolific writer. A whole lot of women. Antonia Nwokolo, who is also doing this. So a whole lot of women that are.
We have Grace Christopher, who is also doing one time life.
Well,
that's he's actually mentioning his wife's name.
He's doing a wonderful one.
Yeah,
too,
so
and,
okay, everyone's celebrating. That's beautiful. This is what things like this is what we love to see. And of course, women are clamoring. We want to be included in government. We want to be included in policy making. How many women do we have, for instance, in the House of Assembly, in the Senate, in the House of Reps? How many women do we have? How many women do we have as governors? Okay, some states are trying that to make women deputy governors. How many do we have as local government chairmen, as councillors? How many do we have?
That's
the reason why we need this inclusion. Because when we have more women, the society will be more sane. You would agree with me that women are home builders. And as women are home builders, we're also nation builders. So if we have more women in government...
Antonia is going to talk about this.
If we have more women in government, Nigeria will be better. The reason... Ramsey, please, just a minute. The reason why a lot of these things, yes, there are some women that have put women in bad light when they've been given public positions to handle, but that does not still take away the fact that a woman has the capacity to build. And if women are included in the governance of Nigeria, in different spheres of life, of the economy in Nigeria, and Nigeria will be better. It doesn't take that away.
We have it in Kogi State. Kogi State is doing very well. Other states are also doing it. But then, women are even more than, according to population, according to statistics, the number of women are more than the men. So, Christopher, do you feel we should have more women in governance? Because Antonia is strictly speaking for the women. That's why when she was talking, she included herself.
Yeah,
all of us should speak about women today, because today is their day.
So if it's not their day, you won't talk about them. At least they have capacity.
Special recognition.
For
today
the
is
women.
International Women's Day. You see, may that day not come, but if it comes, good and fine. Any day women in Nigeria, let me use Nigeria in particular, would decide to say they are not voting for men, is going to be election based on gender. I tell you,
women will win. They are more.
They win. You know why?
They are more.
In elections,
that's a free and fair election.
A free and fair election that will not be
I can tell you, by the time
let
me tell you, by the time you go, whether free and fair election or not, as long as women, a credible woman comes out to say she wants to vie, and women say this time around we want to stand,
you must
we the children will support our mothers.
Our mother, of course.
You know why? Even on election days, the women come out more. In church activities.
You just reminded me of 2023.
Women come out more.
I don't know if you saw videos of a woman in Lagos State that when she went to cast out that was beaten.
She went and came back.
Let
me tell you that we have some bad eggs, by the way. Are we not having?
Do we not have bad eggs among the men?
20 bad eggs of women.
How much men?
Multiplied by 100.
60. All right. Well, I think everyone have spoken well, but as it is right now, what we need is to make Nigeria work. If we've been voting for the men, we've been voting for the men, and it seems not to be working. I think it's high time. I'm just saying. It's high time we give some people try. Let's just try some people. Let the trial happen. Okay? Let it happen. And at the end of the day, let's see how it's actually going to work out. Well, happy Women's Day to all the women around the world. Okay?
You have not told me.
Happy
women around the world.
How many
times? Say it again now.
Sonia,
say it again.
Okay. Happy Women's Day.
Happy Women's Day to you.
All right. With a standing ovation, of course. With a standing ovation.
Thank you. The women
All
are
right,
also
to all
seeing
women
it.
in the world, to my mother, to my wife, to my baby,
To
and
also our
everyone,
colleague, Chiwendu
our colleagues,
Osisiogor.
Chiwendu Osisiogor, Anthony Nwokolo, everyone related, associated, and connected to Oweleke TV, our fans, all our female fans, want to say Happy Women's Day to all of you. And it's going to be the size of the big story today, and we're looking forward to that day that a woman will become the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Now my wife. So that will be
The first gentleman.
Not first lady, but first guy.
First man.
By the way,
Office
let
of
us
the
clarify
first
this. If
gentleman.
my wife becomes the president, who am I?
You become the first
The
man.
first man.
First
Yeah,
man.
that's true.
First
First man.
gentleman. If you say first man, are you Adam?
Okay, yes, first gentleman.
First. What is gentle about it? Do we have first gentle lady?
No, first lady. You see the way it sounds classy.
It's not about the way it sounds. It's about the office.
All right.
All right. Well, it's good. It's so beautiful. You can see that it's a beautiful day, and the vibes for the weekend have started already. So go have fun over the weekend, but then you need to be civil in everything that you do. And of course, don't forget to stay on Oweleke TV because we don't have weekend here. Contents keep rolling in on a daily basis. So even during the weekend, you can also get to the channel and entertain yourself, educate yourself, and of course, get the necessary information that you will need. My name is Ramsey, and it's been Antonia and Christopher. Have a beautiful weekend ahead of you. Bye-bye for now.